I just want to take a minute to refresh your memory on selvages and grain lines and how fabric is made. We talked about this during our patchwork project, that fabric is made on a grid system, and if you look at the back of a printed fabric, you can kind of see the grid system where yarns are going left and right and then up and down. So the yarns that go left and right wrap around the material and create what we call the selvage, which is right here. That's the edge of the material that we can't pull any fabric off. Up here at the top, I can pull yarns off. I can do that at the top because that's been cut with scissors, and I can do the same thing at the bottom because it's been cut with scissors. The selvage is the manufactured edge that we know is straight when it was manufactured. There are two selvages on material, one to the left and one to the right. For this project, you are going to take your rectangular pattern piece, pin it to the material so that this grain line is parallel to that selvage. At this point in the school year, I don't like to get too technical, but clearly you can see in your eyes that that's crooked, that this arrow is going crooked from the selvage. When we get into more complex patterns later on in the school year, we'll be measuring to get the exact number of inches that arrow is away from the selvage. But for now, just use your eyes and make sure that it's straight. When we pin a pattern piece, we always put a pin through each end of the arrow, and then in this case, we'll secure the opposite sides. If you're doing pattern pieces for sleeves or pants or something completely different, you'll put lots more pins in. But for now, we just have to do the 4. Once it's pinned on, you're going to cut the fabric out around the rectangular pattern piece. When we cut with our scissors, you drag the scissor along the table. When you use dressmaker scissors, you don't hold it up in the air and cut it like you're cutting an art project. You want to drag the scissors right along the table as you go. And you're lifting your thumb up. I've seen students before use their scissors like this. That is incorrect. Your thumb goes through the smaller hole and your 2 fingers go through the larger hole on the handle. When you have one done, you take your pins out. If you did a nice job and you cut a straight line here, you can just put that pattern piece right along the straight line. If you didn't do a good job, then make sure you move it over. And you can even use the underside because you can see that grid better, and put the pattern piece right along the grid. So if you can find, I'm looking at this yarn here, it's a slubby white yarn. I'm going to move the pattern piece right along by that slubby white yarn. And let's cut the next one out. It's a good practice to stand while you're cutting fabric so that you can put your weight on the hand without the scissors. And you can turn it. Everything should be flat while you cut. You've got the big tables in the classroom to use. See that little piece. So now I have 2 done. You need 10 total for the Sewing with Simple Seams. Sewing Simple Seams assignment. So you need 10 total. I'll be back when I have 10 cut.